Hello, welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to dive into the world of scary movies. Now here is the top 10 scariest movies on Netflix. At number 10 is Girl on the Third Floor. Girl on the Third Floor offers a whole new level of creepy with unexplainable supernatural events occurring within a Victorian house. Don decides to start his life anew by purchasing an old Victorian-style house in Chicago with the goal to renovate it himself to provide the perfect house fit for starting a family. As Don begins to work on the house little by little, he notices leaks and oily fluids coming out of the walls. However, Don insists on fixing up the house, even with the next-door neighbor, who won't leave him alone. As he pushes his neighbor away, the supernatural forces in the house begin to gain momentum, as the marbles he thought were harmless at first instantly becomes deadly. This movie creates a supernatural and psychological perspective to horror that leaves us remembering this movie way after the credits roll. Number 9 on the list is Hush. I had to include a chilling slasher film to the list, and Hush happens to be it. Maddie is a deaf author that lives in an isolated home in the woods. She lives a normal life, discussing her writing with her friend Sarah. But one night, Sarah runs to Maddie's house and yells for help to escape the masked killer. But Maddie can't hear or speak, resulting in Sarah's death. Afterwards, the man finds interest in Maddie and begins to stalk her with photos, but then he shows up at her door ready for a fresh kill. This movie builds up anticipation as a battle lies between the masked killer and the ordinary deaf woman Maddie. Get ready to be on the edge of your seat, as this movie doesn't disappoint. Next on the list, Polaroid. Polaroid offers a gruesome look into the antique world. A high schooler by the name of Bird is gifted an antique Polaroid camera by her friend Tyler. However, chaos ensues when she finds out that her friend Tyler died the same day that his photo was taken. Bird disregards the smudge in Tyler's photo, not believing in the strange coincidence, and soon ends up capturing photos of classmates from her school, not knowing the deadly consequences. After her friends start to die one by one, she then realizes that the smudge in the photo is a dark, shadowy figure wanting revenge. She is alarmed to know that the camera belonged to the daughter of a serial killer, but the question is, how will she stop the figure in the camera from killing people? Like that of The Ring, the victims must figure out a way to distinguish the vengeful spirit.
Tyler's dead.
What?
At number 7 on the list, The Ritual. The first scene of The Ritual takes place in a bar where a group of 5 college friends gather to discuss their group trip plans. Luke and Rob enter a shop to buy drinks, but end up caught between a robbery, and let's just say that one of the guys isn't lucky enough to walk out of the shop alive. Months later, the remaining 4 boys decide to embark on a hiking trip in Sweden. After one of the boys injures themselves, the group suggests a shortcut through the woods, but soon enough they start to encounter weird symbols and dead animals on the trees. As if that wasn't alarming enough, the nighttime forces them to stop and take a rest at a cabin filled with strange phenomena. Luke and his friends fall victim to the strange witchcraft, but some end up more affected than others. Not too long after they leave the cabin scarred for life, the boys come across a group of people who gather, preparing a sacrifice for the mythical creature called the Jotun, in order to gain immortality. I must admit that this movie weaves in the perfect jump scares to keep people hooked until the end. Number 6 on the list, In the Tall Grass. In the Tall Grass is a film inspired by Stephen King and Joe Hill's novella. As it is a movie inspired by the Stephen King novel, you should expect to be taken on a journey filled with mind trickery. A pregnant woman by the name of Becky decides to travel to San Diego with a cow to live with her aunt, but is stopped by the call of help from a little boy in the grass behind a church. Once they find the boy, all 3 of them spend all day trying to find the way out of the tall grass. But just when they thought the exit was near, the grass releases voices, sending them in circles. Meanwhile, the father of Becky's baby, Travis, ends up also stopping by the church when finding out Becky's van is parked there. In the Tall Grass offers a chilling game, Marco Polo, that may not guarantee your survival. Next up on the list, The Ring. The movie franchise The Ring is based on the Japanese horror film Ring, directed by Hideo Nakata. The origin behind the long black-haired girl is from the Japanese myth of a vengeful spirit coming back to life for their cruel or wrongful death. After hearing about a series of strange deaths occurring, a journalist takes the initiative to investigate a cursed videotape that ultimately kills whoever watches it after 7 days. Not just this movie, but all the sequels give off an eerie feeling as we continuously ask ourselves if we should watch the tape showing on the television screen. Number 4. Insidious. Insidious has become a classic horror film centered around paranormal activity that every horror fan has grown to love. But unlike the Paranormal Activity movies, this one goes more in depth into the afterlife. As a family is disturbed by a demonic figure with unseen forces, they call a psychic and an investigator to figure out why their life has become a living hell. The family soon finds out that their child Dalton has a strange ability to mentally travel to the astral world, where angels, spirits, and other beings reside in. Dalton is unable to control his mind and finds himself lost in the purgatory realm where the tortured souls lie. Dalton then provides an open window for spirits to enter the physical world. Josh, the father, must figure out a way to rescue Dalton before it's too late. Be prepared, hide under the blankets, as the astral world and the physical world start to blur together. Number 3 on the list, The Silence. I'm sure you have heard or watched the movies Bird Box and The Quiet Place, where people are forced to disregard either their sight or sound for survival. The Silence was also inspired by the same idea, with nightmarish creatures taking over the world. Allie, a teenage girl, lives with her parents, grandmother, and brother as they all try to figure out how to escape these blind bat-like creatures. With an advantage to the chaotic situation, Allie is deaf and communicates through sign language, but a certain cult group is determined to lure her in. This chilling movie is sure to have you on the edge of your seat, anticipating what's to come next in this apocalyptic world. Number 2 on the list, Before I Wake. Before I Wake is about a child named Cody that suffers from a psychological condition, which enables his nightmares to manifest in real life. Before his new family adopts him, they are unaware of the traumatic events that the child has gone through, find it troubling when the child uses everything possible to refrain from falling asleep. This movie provides a chilling supernatural approach to the nightmares that wake us up at night. When the parents start seeing Cody's dreams manifest, they are baffled by the things they discover. Filled with a mixture of psychology, fantasy, and the supernatural, Before I Wake is yet another scary movie to add to your list and will leave quite the impression. Last but not least, Train to Busan. One of the best Korean zombie movies up to date, Train to Busan offers a whirlwind of emotions. It's not just your average scary movie with jump scares at every corner. Train to Busan keeps you on your toes while effortlessly connecting the audience to the characters on an emotional level. The movie starts off with a well-known actor, Gong-yoo, who plays Sok-woo, a major workaholic, who comes home to his daughter with a present for her birthday. However, his daughter brings up her wish to see her mother in Busan instead, so Sok-woo, not able to reject her wish, takes her to Busan. A zombie movie mostly centered on the train, this chilling movie will make you rethink your entire perspective of zombies as their difficulty outrun. If you're looking to watch more Korean and zombie entertainment, check out the Korean drama Kingdom on Netflix. Well, there you have it, the top 10 scariest movies on Netflix that will leave a chill like no other. Most of them I would not recommend watching after dark. For more entertainment, check out sarahscoop.com.